Success with women will not make you happy. There's probably a few reasons why that is the case, and I'm going to try to cover quite a lot of these things today. Also, I've been around for a very long time, so I do know what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of guys come in, get into the dating space, try to improve their lives with women, fall into a lot of pitfalls, which is why I coach. Because I coach men out of falling into these pitfalls, because I have the experience to see men coming in and then men leaving in a bad way. And I've identified a few ways that they end up that way, and I've even seen a guy commit suicide. Not personally seen him, but I've known a guy who got into dating, fell into these pitfalls, and committed suicide. And I believe I narrow it down to a few of these pitfalls that I'm going to identify today, and add a few tips on how you can overcome it so it doesn't really bother you too much. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. If you want some one-on-one coaching with me, links in the description. Fill out the quiz, let me know who you are, and we'll see if we can work together in the near future. Maybe online coaching, we can have a chat, or we can also do a form of boot camp. And if you want to have an understanding on what type of adversity and what type of stuff that I have been through and overcome in my life, maybe read my book. Probably the most traumatic, epic, disastrous book you would ever read in your life. I'm serious. So let's go on with the video. Success with women will not make you happy. Now, what's the name of this channel? It's not man with one goal, is it? It is one man's life mission. It's not one man reaches one goal and gets depressed, is it? No. There's a difference between a goal and a life's mission. They're two totally different things. Now you see a lot of people, they'll talk about, okay, well look, I'm going to earn this amount of money, I'm going to get my golden parachute at work, I'm going to retire, then I'm going to have the life that I've always wanted. And then they retire, they put on weight, they become an alcoholic, and they have a heart attack and die early. People who die, people who retire and have nothing to do are more likely to die than someone who is in a job that they enjoy, right? So having a goal is something that you can achieve. It's something in the future, no matter how big that goal is, you might accidentally hit it. You might overreach and you might actually hit the goal. If the goals are too small, then you're going to hit them quite easily. If they're too large, sometimes you might actually hit them. And I have seen men hit their goals and then instantly become depressed straight after. So therefore, incremental goals, small little goals are fine, but the ultimate way to look at your life is to have a life's mission. And so if you have a life's mission, you can never complete the goal. You can always just tinker at it. It's like the saying, enjoy the journey, not the destination. But what you do is you enjoy the journey, but there is no destination, because that's what a mission is. Your life's mission is to continue hammering on your mission. And there might be little tiny goals that you want to hit along your life's mission, but ultimately the life's mission can most possibly never be reached, and that means that there's no chance of you sitting on the beach, retiring, having a heart attack and an alcohol addiction, and then dying early because you've reached your goal. I've seen guys reach some phenomenal success in their business, education, love life, etc., financially, and then boom, just literally the day after going into a deep depression, going from the extreme happiness of reaching their goal to the depths of despair the very next day, because they don't know what they're going to do. And so that's where, if you have a mission, you have something so far into the future that you could probably never possibly never ever reach, that's a life's mission. And that's why I dedicated this channel and this channel's name to One Man's Life Mission. And it's around dating and relationships, of course. Now you see, one thing I have noticed with a lot of men that get into dating and relationships is they will do a boot camp, they will feed into the whole hype of getting success with women, and you have a lot of fraudulent coaches out there that will compete with each other for the attention of all the students. And so what you do is you have these guys that are promising the world, and a lot of it they cannot deliver. And then you have a lot of other coaches calling out those other coaches because they're promising the world, but the same guys calling them out are promising the world as well. And then you have people calling out RSD. I remember a few guys talking about RSD. J-Douche hates them. Every second video is on RSD this, RSD that. J-Douche hates them. Yeah, if you... it's because RSD, they talked about, well, don't worry about the results, just self-amuse, enjoy the journey. What else was their keywords? They had self-amuse, was it focus on the method, focus on the strategy, focus on the journey, something along those lines. And then they would have people meditate and read books like Eckhart Tolle. So this was technically very good advice. It was very good advice. But of course, you know, men want results. So let's look at this from the client's point of view now. So you have a guy who will go and do a boot camp. He might have problems with himself. There might be mental problems, physical problems, financial problems. There's issues with men all over the place. They'll go do a boot camp or something, and they won't get laid on boot camp. It's like, hang on, so you're supposed to get laid, go from incel to pussy slayer within 24, 48 or 1 week? How is that even possible? A lot of the coaches out there are just sitting in third world countries swiping right on Tinder. So what the hell do they know about actually doing cold approach with girls above their mate value? They don't know anything about that. So they're promising something. So someone will go do a boot camp, and then after the boot camp, next thing you know, they're like, hang on, but I should have been sleeping with supermodels. And they look in the mirror and they're a short, overweight dude that lives with their parents, has their glasses on, their fashion's not sorted, nothing else is sorted, they don't hit the gym, and they're bitter because of their results. And so they look at themselves and they objectively have been sold, you know, something. And then what they do is, to try and live up to this false narrative that they're getting success when they're not actually getting success, they will then create a fake profile. You see them in the Telegram groups all the time. Most of these guys don't have their real names there or their real photos. This is a huge issue with the community. Next thing you know, what do? They're projecting success when secretly there's no success. So they're trying to live a lie. And this guy that committed suicide I'm talking about now, he what he did was he wasn't hitting the gym. He was a little bit older. He fed into this style of game which wasn't working for him. And he wasn't getting success, but what he was doing was he was posting photos of himself with girls and that, but these girls were working girls in strip joints and things like that. And then what he started doing was, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet girls that I can pay for sex or something along those lines, but then project success. And it was like he was chasing validation from other men, when in fact, what he really needed to do was get himself a life's mission. And that life's mission is, okay, well, I'm not getting success. Be honest with yourself. How's my gym going? How's my body? What's my body mass index? Am I fit? Do I have any biceps? What am I doing to improve this part? Because your looks do matter. I dye my hair. I spent time in the rowing machine today. I'm disabled, but I do my best to look my best, right? Always do your best. How's your fashion going? You got a nice suit jacket. Are you wearing a leather jacket, trying to be a bad guy? Or are you wearing a suit jacket? What's your image? Instead of like projecting success, be honest with yourself. When you're out there, you're trying to... when you're meeting girls, are you trying new things? Or you just, you know, stuck in the same routines? Are you innovating? How's your financial situation? Are you living with your parents? So going and doing coaching and then blaming the coach. See, I tend to see a lot of the coaches out there. They're kind of like, it's like a plumber. He comes to fix the tap. There's a lot of them that are good, but most of them are like, they're kids. Let's just be honest. There's no real certification or experience level that is needed to teach game, and the vast majority are they're kids that have come in and they don't even have their diploma in game. Their success is basically predicated on their looks, and so they don't have the depth of understanding. And so when their students are projecting this false success, it puts more pressure on the students than really is fair on them as well. I remember one guy, he did a boot camp, and then straight after the boot camp did no approaches, and then bought himself a new product to swipe right on Tinder and put weight on. It's like, well, what are you doing to improve your life? Well, what you do is you do a boot camp to learn how to structure your cold approach. That's what it's about, your cold approach, and how to text. Get all that stuff at like the most basic fundamental level, and you continue doing it after the boot camp. You continue doing it, and you continue just accepting the failure that's happening. You accept it, because you cannot improve unless you accept the failure, right? And as the failure comes, you tweak a little bit here, tweak a little bit there. And if you have a coach like me, you can always get back in contact with me. You do a boot camp with me, we're buddies for life. You can literally speak to me for whenever, right? Because I want to see those improvements. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Where you're at, I'm gonna look at you and say, look, you need to change things. Things need to change. I don't care how good your yad stop is. I don't care how good your leather jacket is. Other things, you're a whole, you know, you're the entire, your being is your everything. It is your work, your personality, the people you hang out with, what you do day to day. Do you hit the gym, your friends, your family? All of this is you. And your life mission means that you have to make time for all of these different things in your life. You need to make time for all of them. And spending too much time in the gym is bad too, because then you're not working on these other aspects of your life. Spending too much time at work is bad for you. And spending, like literally taking months off work just to game is very bad for you as well. You need to go to work Monday to Friday, hit the gym in between work. You need to eat well during your work days. After work and before work, you need to be able to integrate approaching girls, you know, meeting girls at the bus stop, at the train. It has to be integrated with your life. You have to be cool, calm, and collected when you're meeting them on every single day. This is not a sport. This is a lifestyle. And you do a boot camp just to get the fundamental basics settled. And Jay Douche steps in there and he starts saying, oh, but RSD, they talk about, you know, self-amusement and all this other stuff. What that does is it puts pressure on his students to get results. And the goal for the students is to have a life's mission loaded with results, not having a spike and then plummet the very next day after the boot camp. And he's like, well, fuck you. I don't care about you anymore. I've got your money and you're gone. And that's it. You go back to where you were before. If anything, a lot of the time you're worse off. And you can't contact him ever again. You're in a group with a lot of other guys trying to figure it out for themselves as well. And then because of that situation, you start to think, okay, well, I'm going to create a fake profile. I'm going to get some photos with these models at the motor show, and everyone's going to think that I'm banging models now because I've done a boot camp. And then I'm going to project this fake lifestyle that is not real, and I'm not getting any success at all. If anything, my girlfriend is my pillow and Pornhub at the moment, but I'm going to project success. And then you get in this spiral of projecting false success and depression and sadness. And then what you do is you go out and you smash out a few months of hardcore game, and then you go into a depression. Everyone's like, well, what happened to this guy? He disappeared. Because he's hit a spiral of depression because nothing's working, and he has to step back out of the community because he's not being honest with himself and he's not being honest with you. And then he goes into this depression and nobody sees him for a while, and then a couple months later he's back out, he's all high energy, he's spamming around and he's doing all these, you know, techniques that he learned from the boot camp, and then boom, disappears again. And that's what happened to the guy that committed suicide. It's very sad, but this is a life's mission. I just want to make that clear that the reason why I'm not all stressed and miserable about game is because I go out there and I enjoy it. I'm honest with my results. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm enjoying meeting and being social. I enjoy coaching men. I lock in a few regulars that are very good girls to hang out with. I enjoy the whole thing, and I take my time. There's no rush. It's covert. I'm not spamming the city. Nobody knows I'm approaching girls. I make it part of my lifestyle, and it's just becomes who you are after a while. Your life's mission is to always have women in your life. And to enjoy them, having them around and things like this. And it just there's a few problems with what has been taught so far, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to tweak them, change them, and help men to, you know, see through a lot of the bullshit. I could probably talk forever, but I've just noticed on my camera it's beeping. The light's flashing, so I'm about to run out of memory. So I'm gonna have to cut it there. Success with women, or projecting false success with women, is not going to be happy. Be honest with your results, ask questions, get some proper coaching. It's cheap to get one-on-one online coaching. It's dirt cheap for what you get for it. Take that up as an option. And if you think your life is tough, read this. You know, you probably look at me and think, oh, look, this guy's had an easy life. Read my book. It's probably the most traumatic shit you have ever read in your life. It's poorly written. I'm not a writer. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to cover. I covered quite a lot of ground, and hopefully that made a bit of sense to you guys. Don't falsify your results. Don't get down on yourself. Make sure it's a life mission. Make sure just getting, you know, short-term lays here and there just so that you can get validation from everybody else in the community is not your goal, because it's not going to make you happy. And just enjoy it, because this is supposed to be fun. This is a lifestyle. It's supposed to be something that you want to do because you enjoy it. The challenge, it's fun. Just thinking about it, it's exciting. And if you get down, you know, maybe you're doing some of the things that I mentioned in this video, and hopefully this video prevented you from spiraling into, well, suicide, like the guy that I was speaking about before. So I think I've said enough. If you like this video, click the subscribe button. and I'll see you guys in the next video.